Morning. Nice and cool and crisp morning again, but it'll be warming up quick as soon as the sun comes up. Looking to do another 20 or so miles today, well, at least 20. And we are 3 miles to the beehive well. That'll be the first water source for the morning. And then I think water goes back to being like every 10 miles or so. We'll kind of see how it goes. Various animals last night kept waking me up around 8 or 9 o'clock, a little hour or so after sunset. Some kind of mouse critter was rummaging around my tent, trying to see what it is. Kind of quick glance at it, and it looked like kangaroo rat, kind of like I saw in the Mojave Desert out on the PCT. He wasn't chewing holes in anything, but just being a nuisance. And then like at midnight, birds started chirping. They usually wait till sunrise, so that was kind of annoying. Just another example of Arizona marksmanship. These guys are way better than everybody else. This is definitely the most beautiful desert I've ever walked through. It just has the highest variety of plants and animals. There's the beehive well. First water source for the morning. Beautiful, picturesque little canyon area. It's just so beautiful out here. The tank is full of water. Lots of dead insect debris though. I'll load up here. Next to water is a rain collector in about 8.5 miles. As far as the terrain elevation, it looks like it's going to be a gradual uphill climb for the next 6 miles. And then it flattens right out for the second half of the day. I still got cell service up here when you get on top of these hills. I can still see the town of Oracle out there in the foothills of Mount Lemmon. As far as cell service, I think I've mentioned in maybe previous hikes, but I use Verizon. I think that's the #1 best for through hiking. And Sprint is definitely the worst. Sprint doesn't exist at any of these remote places, none of the small towns. They only exist in major cities. That big hilltop out there is Antelope Peak. We'll be going just around to the right of it, I think, around the backside. There's nothing like being loaded up with water and lugging it all uphill for half the day. Well, it's time for a sit-down break. We're about 7 miles in for the day, 4 miles till we hit the next water source. Found a little shady spot, so we'll chill here for a bit and then back on trail. Getting back on trail. About 2 more miles of uphill before it starts getting easy and flat. You know what that sound means? First rattlesnake on trail. Pretty. I love snakes. Now he's getting all angry. He was chill for a minute there. We'll let him go and be on our way. I forget what this cactus is called, but it's growing in thick again. Well, it looks like we made it. I think this is the high point. Well, the hard part of the day should be over. From here, it looks like it's flat and downhill for the rest of the day. Depending on how far I make it, there might be one more hill climb to go up and over, but we'll see how I'm feeling. And now we're about 2 miles to a giant rain collector water source. That should be really nice. Made it to the Freeman Road trailhead. Cool signage here. I guess we're somewheres in that long stretch there. but just up ahead here should be the rain collector, huge water tank. Well, here's the giant rain collector with a big rain skirt on there so everything can funnel in and fill up. I've heard it does a pretty good job for keeping full throughout the year. Looks like a little overflow tub on this side. Yeah, and this thing is brand new. It'd be cool if we start seeing more of these things being built along the trail. I think they just put this up last year. And this must be the main spigot side. We'll fill up here, we'll take a nice break. Oh, back on trail. Next water in about 12 miles. I'm loaded up to make it that far. Hopefully I can make it that far. I don't think I'm going to have enough water to dry camp. We'll see. The terrain should be easy, so it should be cruisy. Should be able to make it. It's like 11 o'clock now, so we'll go for another hour or so, stop for lunch, and then just keep pushing. Starting to remind me of the CDT out here a little bit. At least these power lines aren't buzzing with really loud electricity noises. Well, it's come up on noon. Found some shade in a tree here, so I think this will be the perfect place to take a lunch break. And we got 9 miles left until water and looking for camping somewhere in that area. So I'll check back when we're back on trail. Back on trail. Sitting in the shade is not too bad temperature-wise. Ambient temperature feels like it's only, I don't know, 75, high 70s, something like that. You get the intensity of the sun when you're out and exposed, though. But it's not like it's in the 90s or over 100, so that's not bad. A little bit of a breeze going on, too. But pushing to the next sit-down break. Getting a little bit of random change of scenery with these boulders out here. I don't even think I've seen a live cow in over a week. I'm at that point where I'm starting to daydream about food. I think my hiker hunger might be kicking in. Got about 3.5 miles left. See some hills right ahead of me there with some power lines. I think we're going up and over one of those. It'll be the final little hill climb for the day. It'll drop us into where the split-off junction is at for the water source that we're hitting. And then we'll be looking for camp immediately after. We're into the last climb of the day, working our way up this little valley. We'll be hooking around on the back side of that hill. 1.5 miles to water. Well, I made it to the junction where you split off and go find some water, which is up a little dirt path that goes up there, point 1. And there's a little flat spot here. Some of the grass looks like it's been stamped down, like somebody set up a tent here, but not the best option. I may steal this. I guess this is going to be my campsite, so I'll get set up here and then we'll go collect some water. Well, here's what the water situation looks like. This is a low-ceilinged roof structure that's kind of dug under the ground, and the roof here is your rain catch. All the rain filters down towards that end and then into the black piping, which then fills these two big water tubs. So to get access to everything, you undo some screws, open one of the lids, and you got fresh rainwater in there. So I just topped up, and I'll close the lid there and head back to my camp. Well, back at camp, I got the tent behind me there, and I'm all ready to get settled in the rest of the way, get dinner going, and video editing in the usual. For tomorrow, I think we only got about 16 miles. Will get us to a point where we can start hitching into the town of Kearny, and plan on taking a 0 after that. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I had a great night's sleep last night. Today, 16 miles will get us to a little area where we may have to do a little bit of a road walk to get to a point where we can hitch. We'll get it all figured out. As always, any challenging part of any trail now, it's like I've always done worse, whether it's walking through rain or snowstorms or heat or trying to get a hitch. But the town of Kearny isn't that far away, just a few miles down the road, so it's not a super long hitch or anything. Let's see, water today, we'll get about 5 miles in or so. This should be water source. That may be the only one for the day. That'll just be like a 10 or 11 mile water carry, which will get us to where we can end the day and start hitching. So terrain, I think, is flat and smooth for a little bit, and then eventually we got a mountain climb and some hills and stuff to go over. Hopefully nothing too bad. Kind of see how it goes. There's a giant jackrabbit right in front of me, but I don't know if I can get him on film by the time he escapes. Yeah, he's running off. It's a big one. There's that jackrabbit. I've usually been seeing more of the bunny type rabbits. That guy's definitely a jackrabbit. Mornings are definitely my favorite. One cow out there. All these little dirt tracks are nice and rocky. Well, made it to the first water source. This might be my only water source for the day. I'm gonna load up here like it is. We still got like 11 miles till we're done with the trail. Looks like the overflow part is overflowing, so I'm assuming this thing is full. Loaded up with water and back on trail. We're into the hills now. It's all hilly ups and downs for the rest of the day. Well, I'm deep into a big rocky hill climb, and I'm due for a second breakfast and a sit-down break. So the next shady spot, I'm gonna grab it. Well, this will be good enough for a sit-down break. A nice little overlook view as we get higher up on this mountain here. This looks like the big hill climb for the day, and then it kind of turns into a lot of ups and downs as we get lower and lower and lower in elevation. But I think we're also about halfway done for the day. About 8 miles in, 8 miles to go. No real rush to get to town. I think the second half of the day is going to be a lot slower going though, just based on the elevation profile. But we'll be back on trail after a good little break here. We're done with the snack break, back on trail. Got about a half more mile of climbing till we get to the top of this hill. Well, we're about at the high point. There's looking into the San Pedro River Valley side, out to the east. Looks like there's a whole bunch of strip mining going on over there in that mountain. Well, there's the town of Kearny right there. There's our destination for today. Oh, another little rattlesnake. This guy actually startled me some. He's just trying to get in the bushes to hide. Close-up view of all the strip mining going on across the way. Well, we made it up to the Florence-Kelvin Road trailhead area, and there's a nice little shaded spot here. So I think this is going to be where I'm going to take my lunch break. We only got about little over 2 miles left, I think. There's a water resupply box right there, but I got plenty to get me into town just a little bit further. So we'll chill here for a bit and then finish up last couple miles and start hitching. All done with my lunch break. I signed the logbook there. I went ahead and took a peek inside the water cache, and there's like 10 public use gallons, so it seems to be well stocked. That's cool. We got a little over 2 miles left. We hit the, I don't even know if you call it a town, the small one-road town of Kelvin. And then from there, it might be as much as another walk just to get to the highway where you can hitch easier to get down into town. So we'll see that in a little bit. Well, we made it down to the Gila River. This is the same one that merges up with the San Pedro River Valley that we've been looking at. I'm walking on the old bridge, and there's the new bridge. But just at the end here is where we divert from the trail. Straight ahead of us is the little township of Kelvin. We'll be trying to hitch from here. We may have to walk north a further mile to get to the more of a main highway to try to hitch down to Kearny. But we'll see you there eventually. Kind of quiet in the town of Kelvin. But what's neat is you pass this little maintenance yard building. There's signs for drinking water, so you can top up one more time if you happen to be out. A little spigot right there on the ground. Anyway, we'll see you in town. And here we are, we made it to Kearny. I just got checked into the inn. I got about a half a mile down the road, walking to the main highway, and then one car came by, picked me up, rode me the rest of the way into town here, and the room was open, so I got checked right in right away. I think it's like 1 something, 1:30 maybe, I don't know. So I'm gonna get showered and cleaned up, then we'll be looking for lunch. There's laundry services here. I just gotta like buy a little Tide Pod, and I think that's all I need, so we'll work on laundry at some point too. But now I'm all good. I gotta get cleaned up, rest my feet a little bit, and I'm getting hungry, so yeah, food definitely next after. And now that I'm all cleaned up, it's time to go find some food. I think we're just gonna hit up the Old Time Pizza place just around the corner. Options are really limited anyway, but I hear that's a really good place, so let's go check it out. Here's about the extent of the town. I can see the pizza place up ahead on the right. Here's what we're going with for a nice lunch. Pizza and beers. And back in the hotel room. Feeling tired, feeling good. I got a belly full of pizza and a pitcher of beer, and now I just want to relax and do nothing. We pushed a good stretch between Mount Lemmon and here, a little fast-paced for what I'd like, 20-plus mile days. A little much that I need to do. I think I'm going to slow roll it for the next stretch, which will get us up to Superior, I think.
But we got a 0 for tomorrow, so we'll do finalizing for plans and stuff tomorrow. We'll do the resupply tomorrow. Laundry, I don't need to do it right now. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I think it's only 4:30, so it's kind of that late lunch, early dinner hour that we had food. So I don't know what I'm doing as far as going out for dinner. I might just skip that. Or we'll pop across the street over to the Dollar General and just grab some snacks or something, some drinks to tide me over. Check back in if we're up to anything else, but for right now I feel like just doing nothing and maybe take a nap. Well, it's like 6:30. I figured I'd better go try to find something if I wanted something later. Not a full dinner or anything, but I walked just across the street to the Family Dollar. I found a little Ben & Jerry's ice cream, so I think I'll just munch on that. That'll be my dessert. And I got a little Gatorade electrolyte thing. I think that'll do me. I'm still pretty full from the pizza and beer I had earlier. Did a little shelf check over at the Family Dollar as well. They've got enough stuff for a resupply, so that looks okay. There's also an IGA full grocery store just a little bit down the way as well, so I can check out those options. I haven't been there yet. Speaking of that place, there's no like cafe or anything, so for breakfast I'll probably just end up over at the little IGA grocery store. They open at like 7. I've heard they give out like a free coffee and donuts, I think, for hikers, so maybe that'll be my breakfast. We'll go check that out. We'll find out in the morning. But I'm super tired. I've got ice cream to eat. I still have to edit today's video, so we'll see what all I get accomplished. The Wi-Fi here is non-existent, and the regular cell service seems pretty weak, so I don't know if I'll be able to get a single video uploaded overnight, but we'll give it a try. We'll all find out in the morning, but I think that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.